correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like our age and our current generation experienced a little bit more freedom than the generation prior. Which, once again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we may have experienced a little more freedom to the point where we feel like we might all be destined for more than just sitting at a desk all day, working that 9 to 5, or working until you're 60, really anywhere. Or maybe you feel like you can do more and you're destined to be more than just being a worker bee and being subject to what most people's normal is. All right, if you can understand that, don't click off. Let me bring you into the light. All right, so now that we brought you into the light a little bit, feelings are definitely correct, because I feel the same way. I didn't really understand this feeling that I had for a long time, even since I was in high school. But I'm starting to kind of understand it now, where it's like, am I not better than this? You feel me? Can I not do better than standing around and fucking going to work, coming home, coming back to places and going places that I really don't want to be, being in situations that I don't want to be in? And I think I understand it enough now to be able to tell you that you can, and you are definitely capable of way more. Even I was capable of a lot more than this, you know what I mean? It's not that I couldn't do things effectively, but you know, it depends on where your head is at. You know when you don't really want to do something. And for people that maybe like me, you're not exactly going to put the effort that a business is going to want from you into that business when you don't really care too much. You know what I mean? It's almost like you kind of know where you need to be and you know where you want to get to. And of course, it's always a useful tool. There's always a useful tool accessible to you, but sometimes you really got to just wonder if it's really worth it for where you want to get. Plus, as you go through the motions, you'll kind of see, as much as you don't care about that job that you really hate, they don't care about you either. You're just a number. And if I can understand that, I know you can understand that. So why not strive to do better than something that you know you don't want? Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I've worked some jobs, I've gained some skills, I understand how this shit typically works. And I'll say as well, I know it's hard to keep a job when you have the mindset of, you know that you can do better, you know you don't want to do the shit, and you know that you have a genuine passion that you could use to sustain your life as well as actually allow you to be happy. Because, you know, people often talk about people working jobs that they hate and doing stuff that they don't want to do. And I understand why you have to, but I also don't understand that giving your time away for money when you need that time to build your own life. And realistically, money is important, but would you rather have money or would you rather be happy? I understand they go hand in hand, and most people won't try to tell you that, and this might be a lot to grasp, but money indeed buys happiness, but you can make money from being happy. So like, we understand money buys happiness, right? I kind of just elaborated on that, but I feel like we also got to understand the mindset portion, because it's like, yes, obviously not everyone's in a position to just fucking quit their job and pursue their dreams. I definitely understand that. But I'm trying to put myself in a position where I can, because I just walked into a corporate job and on the second day I wanted to walk right the fuck back out. It's ass. Like, I can't imagine a life where I do this. I can imagine a life where I pick up a camera and make people smile every day. I can imagine that life. But honestly, that 9 to 5, that 401k, that's really kind of my worst case scenario. Not rather than, like, for some people, obviously it's their it's their end game, right? But for me, it's my worst case scenario. Like, my end game is actually being able to see more parts of the world than just this. Like, you know how long me and Sydney had to drive around to find this spot, yo? But regardless of what, right? It's positioning. I understand positioning. There's a lot of factors that go into building the life that you want and doing the things that you want. There's a lot of factors that go into it. But once you kind of learn how to manage those factors and learn how to get the right mindset to put yourself in the positions that you need to be in, it gets a little bit easier, I promise. When it gets easier, you start to understand more of where you should be putting your time, what you should do. Once again, if you're like me, you've already kind of experienced this freedom in one way or another, whether it be you kind of ran a small business when you were younger, or you got good at streaming and making YouTube videos and putting out high quality content, kind of like me. It also goes kind of by location. Personally, I'm in a location where our water's fucking green for some reason. And the overall vibes are kind of negative. But once you can learn to push past that, once you can deal with the people at the job that you really know that you're better than, don't really care about you, and or you know that you can go farther than where you can with that job, I feel like it gets personal, you know? It gets personal to the point where that grind is going to get serious, and you're actually going to take it seriously, and you're going to really work to get to where you want to be, whether you're cold, whether you're sick, whether you're tired, whether you're hot. Because at the end of the day, I tell Snapchat all the time, I mean, you wouldn't be tired if you weren't broke. There is no plan B. This shit gotta work. Because the thing is, like, realistically, if you put enough time, you put enough effort, and you play your cards right, it will work. It always has to. I've never seen anybody fail at anything that didn't give up. You can only fail if you just stop. Nobody that failed at anything gave up, you know what I mean? If you keep doing it, if you keep getting better, you keep learning, you keep figuring things out, you have no choice but to succeed. There is no plan B. The shit has to work. Before I carry on with the video, I really did hear that you weren't drinking your water today. So here, take a sip. All right, so if you have noticed through the video, I've changed spots a lot. You know, I don't necessarily sit still. And honestly, I will tell you, you shouldn't sit still either. Because the thing is, the less you sit still, the more that you'll get done. The hungrier that you'll stay to achieve what you want to achieve. Personally, I struggle to actually just sit down and fucking do nothing. So that's why we've changed spots a lot of times in this video, and I hope you kind of get the little bit of symbolism behind it. Just basically, don't stay in the same spot. If you stay in the same spot, you're not really getting anywhere. It sounds common sense, but I feel like you might need to see it in a deeper way through the video for you to really understand. I don't want you to be in the same place forever. I want you to grow and learn and become the best version of you. And I want to say there's no hypocrisy here. I work a job too. But I think me and you both established already at this point that you can do better, especially if you want more. Pretty much what I'm trying to explain to you is that, like, realistically, you use your job as a tool, right? And in order to use that tool, you're going to have to do some shit you don't want to do. See, as I told you, I change jobs often, but I always have a plan, right? And the plan is to not really have to stay in the same place for too long, because it's just not me. And it's probably not you either if you made it this far. But I do appreciate you making it this far, Team Neptune, and I will catch you in the next one.